Welcome to the debauchery. We have such sights to show you.
Here's Johnny!
All you have left is my desire for you.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
What's up, all you horror movie loving fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of Triple FMK, where we watch the horror movies and we let you know if we'd rather fuck them, marry them, or kill them. As always, I am your host, Jay, and as always, I am joined by my delicious co-host, the Gentleman Jack, all caps, the Gentleman Jack. Hey, welcome back to another week. If you're listening to this, I got this one out early because I know it's Thanksgiving, so you should be listening to this probably Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So I wanted to get it up, and I didn't want to interfere with coming out on Thanksgiving Day. I know everybody's busy. I know, Friday's the big day for all the shopping, so I wanted to get it up early. So we're in week number 3 of Happy Birthday Bill Oberst Jr. month. The last 2 weeks, I've covered Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies and also DIS, D-I-S. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has listened, who has followed along, who has shared, commented. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. On this episode, we are in the third pick that Bill gave me is going to be Coyote. It is a 2014 flick. It is directed by Trevor Juenger. Trevor, if I butchered that, man, my apologies. I am terrible with names. But so before we get into it, though, we're going to touch on a little bit of housekeeping stuff. Check us out on the website, frightflickfmkpodcast.com. It should be, I think it's at the top of the little border thing if you're seeing it on YouTube. It's also going to be in the description on the whatever podcast platform you may be listening to it on. We're on all the social media sites, Fright Flick FMK, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. So also on YouTube, there's a video version of this also that is on YouTube. But thank you for following along. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to listen to this shit show. Before we go any further, shout out to my man Bill Oberst Jr. BOJ. He actually shared the last episode on Facebook, and he commented on it when he shared. And finally, I have yet to be able to, when people ask me like, "Oh, you do a podcast? What's it about?" I'm like, "Oh, we talk about horror movies." But it's we're different here. So Bill made the comment that listening to this show is kind of like two buddies sitting around drinking beer, watching a horror movie, and one of them literally just like spits his beer out and yells like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" And I hit my brother up, John, after I seen that, and I was like, Bill gets it. That's the perfect breakdown. It's like on here, it's somebody just sitting here, if we're just talking back and forth about a horror movie that we watched, and it's just shooting the shit about it, man. I told my brother, I was like, we are not deep here. We are not fancy. I promise you, there will never be a time listening to this show that you will need to grab your phone and Google a word I just said because you're sitting there thinking, what the fuck did he just say? What does that mean? That won't happen here. I am pretty basic. I don't use a lot of big fancy words. I don't know a lot of big fancy words, and I'm completely fine with that. There are people out there that, enjoy that. I'm one of those. I do not, if I'm talking to somebody and you try to spit a big word at me just to try to sound smart, and I got to walk away and Google, like, what the fuck this person just say? What does this word mean? I don't like that. That's just me personally. But I think that's going to kind of do it for some of the housekeeping stuff. We're going to jump on into Coyote 2014, starring, of course, the one and only BOJ, Bill Oberst Jr. This movie I came across because of Bill. We were emailing back and forth and talking about movies or something, and he mentioned Coyote. And so as soon as he mentioned it, I had to go look for it, and I purchased this one. I'm not sure exactly where you may be able to stream it at. I know I'd purchased it on Amazon Prime. Once again, like last week, I forgot before I jumped on here to look up where it may be, where you can stream it at. But we're all grown adults, and 99% of y'all are glued to your phones most of the day anyway. So just run on over to Google Coyote 2014 Bill Oberst Jr. It'll pull up and find out where you can watch it. This one, Bill mentioned it, and so I checked it out, and it's been a while since I had seen it. It's been quite a while, and I sat down yesterday, and what's today? Today's Sunday when I'm recording this, so I watched this yesterday on Saturday, rewatched it again just to kind of be more fresh on it. So the IMDb on this one's kind of short. Like I tell you every week, I don't come up with this shit. I'm not that fucking smart. A writer with insomnia begins having hallucinations that drive him to extreme violence. And that's pretty much what they give you on that. Now, I will say this about Cody, and I said it last week. I really, really enjoy a movie where it doesn't give me all the answers. I like it when I'm watching it and I'm trying to figure out, is it real? Is this person dreaming? Is this person just remembering or thinking about it? I enjoy those types of movies that just leave it up for you to figure it out. You get all the way to the end of it and it gives you nothing because it's up to you. This one, and that's what last week's episode on Dis was the exact same way. So this one is another one that it kind of leaves you as you're watching it. As it's going along, you'll catch yourself going, well, hell, is this a dream, or is he imagining this, or is he writing about it, or what? You just don't know. And it lets you kind of do that on your own. And I enjoy it. Trevor knocked it out of the park for that one. I for me anyway. Somebody else may watch it that's a lot smarter than me and be like, oh, it was this, and this. Well, congratulations to you. You're smarter than me. But my, South Carolina simple mind, high school diploma, there were times watching this and where I didn't know if it was really happening, if it was something from the past, if it was something that he was thinking about or dreaming about. And this one is so good at that. And I'm going to wait to the end to give my rating on it. If you're new to this show, if you accidentally stumbled across us somehow, like I said in the beginning, we rate them on if we would fuck it, marry it, or kill it. Marrying it being the best. Marrying is that one that you could watch any day of the week, and you are completely fine with watching it. You just don't get old to you. The fuck is the friends with benefits. It's the one that you just know that you can pop in at any given time. If you just don't know what you want to watch, you're really not feeling a certain thing, but you got Old Faithful. That one you can just put on. That's okay with playing in the background. You could sit there and be scrolling through your phone, doing whatever, and you have that movie playing. That is the friends with benefits. Then you got your kill. Your kill is what I like to call the sea donkey. That's that one night stand that you took home. You did it. You're not proud of it. It happened. You did it once, but you are going to do everything within your power to not bump into it again. That is the kill. So that's how I'm going to rate it. Now, I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. That's what we do here. If you one of those that don't want it spoiled and you want to see it first, then go look for it, check it out. I say look for it because I didn't fucking look prior to where you could watch it. But check it out and then come back and listen to it. But I'm going to spoil. I'm going to kind of go through this whole thing with you. Then when I get to the end, I'll let you know what I think about it. But I'm going to step away for just 1 second. I got it. The gentleman, it's a little bit low. It's a little low. And I want to have it nice and full to get through the episode. I want to be able to enjoy it. Hold on 1 second. A little gentleman and Jack break. Thank you. So I'm going to step away and go get me a refill. While I'm away, I want you to listen to my good friend Debbie. It's from True Crime University. She is a fellow podcaster, and she covers true crime. I know a ton of people out there love true crime. I love true crime. Debbie is the smart one, super smart. She will talk about some stuff and break it down. Sometimes Debbie be doing some shit I might have to listen and Google at the same time because she's talking about some shit that's over my head. But she breaks it down. But what she ends up doing is breaking it down for us simple-minded people like me, to where I understand it. I kind of understand more what she's talking about. So she is a great listen. Definitely go check her out. True Crime University. I want to step away. I want to refill this Yeti with the gentleman Jack. Then I will be right back, and we're going to dive headfirst into Coyote 2014.
So you like to listen to people talk about crime, but did you ever wonder why criminals do the things they do? Like what makes them tick? My name is Debbie, and I'm the professor at True Crime University. Join me in the classroom Thursdays, wherever you get your podcasts, for intellectual discussions about crime, psychology, and why criminals do what they do. See you there.
All right, Fright Flick family, we are back. The Yeti is good to go. And we're about to jump on into this thing. But before I do, I want to show off a little bit of something that I have. I'm a collector of Bill Oberst Jr. from once I came across him in Circus of the Dead. Me and him have been in contact. We've emailed and stuff like that. I have actually had purchased some items that he sells on his store. And when he sent this to me, this was after he had mentioned Coyote to me, and I watched it, and I emailed him back talking about it. And so he sent me when I ordered the stuff I ordered from his store, and I keep pointing that way if you're on the YouTube because my display cabinet is over there. He sent me some items, some stuff he didn't have to send me. He didn't have to do anything. I ordered what I ordered. He could have just slapped it in the mail, sent it to him, but he didn't. I want to show you a couple things that he sent me because it kind of goes along with this movie, Coyote. And he sent me, and he had put something in a brown bag. And when he sent me the brown bag, he actually wrote on it, "Sleep is the enemy." And that's from this movie. That's from Coyote. He also sent me, and he even put a little note on it, a little sticky note that says, "Since you like Coyote, I thought you might like the soundtrack." Signed by Bill. Bill also sent me the soundtrack to Coyote. The DVD, the CD's in there. It will not get played. It is for display reasons only, for purposes only. Even got the little note right there. I don't know if you can see it, but BOJ, thank you very much, brother. Then he sent me the DVD. I had purchased it digitally on Amazon when I watched it, but then he sends me the DVD. Right here we got Coyote. And the DVD also with Bill on there, and he actually signed it. Bill Oberst Jr. So these are a couple things I got because I am as I'm going, you're figuring out where I may be going with my rating on this thing. So I'm just going to get it out of the way now. Coyote, for me, is a very, very good book. No, it's not a Mary. It's not one I could just pop in and watch every day, but it is a very good book. It is that friends with benefits that, you okay with calling them up on a Friday night. You're okay with them coming over, and even hanging out for a little while, spend some time together, not just to get your fix, not just to scratch the itch. It's just that, such a good friends with benefits that you could have them over, order a pizza together, drink a beer together, friends with benefits. So Coyote is a good fuck for me. So I had to get my rating out of the way, because as I'm already talking about it, like, you can kind of already knew I was not going to be killing this motherfucker. I am fucking it. So we're going to jump on into it. We're going to start off, and I told you there's going to be spoilers. So we're going to kind of break down how this thing goes all the way through. This one, and I told you, just a quick reminder, a writer with insomnia begins having hallucinations that drive him to extreme violence. So this thing's going to kick off. And one of the first things you see or you don't see it, you hear it when it comes on. You hear a fly. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. Anytime in any movie or anything, I hate flies. They drive me nuts. Like, if during the summer months, if I'm opening the garage and I come in the house and a fly gets in here, it drives me crazy. I cannot stand it. A fly to me, it's nasty. That's what, for me, when if I see it in the house, I just automatically think, oh, it's fucking nasty, And so when this thing started, you hearing like a little fly buzzing, and then it opens up and it comes to, and you see we're inside of a house. It looks like the living room. This thing's got some blue walls on it. It's got some, deer head hanging on the wall. We got a fish on the wall, some pictures on the wall. Then we got our guy Bill. Bill sitting at a little desk. Looks like he's trying to write a letter. And sitting there, got the paper on the desk. He's sitting there, and Bill's in like wife beater and some boxer shorts. And while he's sitting there trying to write, you're hearing this little fly buzzing, and you even see him kind of swat at it. And that just makes me feel, it makes me feel nasty. It makes me feel dirty, and when it first opens up and you see it, it kind of gives off this, like, just this little dirty look. It was the colors. I liked it. I liked the blue wall. I liked the way it looked. It just made you feel kind of grimy right out of the gate. Like, he's just sitting there, and you could tell it's almost like summertime. Like he ain't got fucking AC in the house. It's fucking like he's all sweaty looking. It's just you just feel kind of dirty as soon as it starts off. He's trying to write a letter, and he's sitting there and he's writing it, and he's talking, not to himself, but you hear him, and he's talking, and he's like writing a letter to his mom, and he's trying to let her know that he's arrived at his new house. But he seems to be struggling with this, like almost like a writer's block on trying to write something as simple as a letter to your mother. You would think that would come kind of easy, writing a letter to mom, like, hey mom, just got to the new house. And apparently his mom had given him the house or something like that. So maybe it was like a free house, or I don't know, but it doesn't really say. But he is trying to write this letter. Can't get through it. He is like trying to write on the paper and getting so annoyed where he's like ripping through the paper. And he just kind of wads it up, throws it down. Then he gets up and he goes and digs through an old box. He's got an old box. Like, you tell he just moved in, new place, box full of just random shit. And his box looked like one of them junk drawers that we all have in the kitchen. I have one in the kitchen, not going to lie. You open it up, there's a little bit of everything in there. We always got the batteries. We always got the extra phone chargers, the iPad chargers. There's just random shit in there. And so that's what his box looked like my kitchen fucking drawer. But he digs through there and he pulls out this old red typewriter. And, I'm old school. I grew up. I was born in the 70s. When I went to school, it wasn't all computer classes when I first started. I remember my freshman year of high school, we took typing classes. like with a typewriter, sitting there typing. You know, I was pretty fucking good at it. I can still type like a motherfucker today. But old school typewriter, pulls it out. Then he starts typing up the letter like it's his assistant. It's like maybe he wanted his mom to think that, you know, everything's great and he's doing what he went there to do. Maybe he went there to be a writer, to do whatever, and maybe he's trying to sell it to mom, like, hey, you know, I'm living my dream over here, mom. Like I've got you getting a letter from my secretary. That's how busy I am. Like I am so busy that I can't even take some time to write my mother a letter. I have to have my secretary type this bad boy up. And it shows him putting the little envelope in the mail. And then we come to like, he's not a fucking, you know, living the good life writer. Bill is a fucking furniture mover. He is with his partner. Joe was his name. Let me see. Joe, played by Bill Finkbeiner. I butcher names. Finkbiner. If you know it, you know, jump on in the comments. Let me know how to say it. But Joe is who he is. So he is with a furniture moving company. Bill's out there with his, you know, got his little moving jumpsuit, little coveralls on. Even got Bill right there. Bill plays Bill in this movie, so that just makes it easier. He is riding down the road in the furniture truck with this Joe, who is a racist motherfucker. There is a part of this movie that is, he just racist. I would just leave it at that. Bald dude just keeps talking shit, you know, and so yeah. But hey, I enjoyed it. Still good. We're feeling it, baby, all the way up to now. We still good. But then we get Bill in the bed. Can't sleep. He's just laying there. And we've all been there. Well, I have. You have those nights where you just can't sleep. You know, you no matter what, your brain won't shut the fuck off. Everything's just, you know, running 90 miles a minute. And so while he's laying there, you see some dudes come in to the room in his bedroom. They come busting in there like they're robbing the place. And you think, dude, this dude getting robbed? And they come in, cover his face with a pillow, and just straight up shoot him in the head. And you realize that it didn't really happen. It is like this. I don't know if he's hallucinating, if it was a dream, but you almost feel it, man. You can feel that whole, like, just laying there and just imagine. I don't know how long that maybe this has been going on. It doesn't really give you like days stamped out like it's his 1 weekend, two. It doesn't give you that. So you don't know how long that Bill has had this problem, this insomnia type thing. And you feel bad for him. I did anyway. I'm watching him going, man, how bad would that fucking suck? Just can't go to sleep. Just can't shut it off, man. You can't flip that switch, you know. And I've been there. I've been there where you know, all these thoughts going through, you can't flip it off. So he's back at his typewriter again. And he types out on the typewriter, sleep is the enemy. And it seems like he's been having these bad dreams and he hasn't slept. He's basically saying that he hasn't slept since he's been there, you know, and he's in here trying to like run back and forth in this room, and he's like doing push-ups and shit. And it's almost like he's just trying to give himself out to where he will just fall asleep. And he's sitting there talking, and he's saying, like, the only thing I can think of is death now. He's at the typewriter and he almost falls asleep. He like slaps himself to wake up. But then I'm like, okay, he is afraid to go to sleep. for some reason. It's not like he just cannot fall asleep. It's like he's scared to go to sleep. Like when he talked about, all he thinks of is death. Maybe he's thinking at this point that if he falls asleep, he's going to die. So he's sitting there, he's slapping himself, trying to stay awake, doing more push-ups. And he's like thinking to himself, and he's like, all these dreams have got to mean something. And he even says it. He goes, if I will die if I fall asleep. Like he is to a point to where he is now thinking that if he dozes off and fall asleep, he's going to die. And once again, you're feeling bad for this dude. Like damn, man. And it makes it easy for me. I'm watching, I'm going, I start thinking like, man, what would that be like? Like, what would that be like to be to that point of just exhaustion and tired, but at the same time, scared shitless to fall asleep, to where you're thinking that if you do, you're not waking up. And this lack of sleep is now fucking with him. Like it is, he's really thinking that somebody's out to get him. He's thinking that, somebody's coming, somebody's going to kill him. And he says to himself, I must prepare myself. I'm not sure what the hell he thinks is going to happen, but he is so deep in this rabbit hole of just exhaustion to where nothing seems to be making sense. And he sits there on the couch. This dude, Bill, actually takes him some duct tape, the old gray, silverish duct tape, cuts him some strips, tapes his damn eyes open, like right over the eyebrow, pulls it back, tapes it to where it keeps his eyes open. That shit had to be painful. Have you ever sit there and play the don't blink game? It ain't fun. My daughter, she likes to damn do the staring game sometime, and we be looking at each other the whole time. Like she's better at it than me. She'll hold her eyes open. I'm holding my eyes open. I'm like, damn it, girl, just fucking blink so I can blink. That it just starts burning, and it shows him sitting there, and he's got like the tears running down the side of his face, just terrified to just fall asleep, thinking something's going to get you. Then we're back to Bill doing his normal 9 to 5. Bill's out there moving the couch. They're carrying this couch, him and Joe, and they sit the couch down. And one thing that jumped out at me when they sit this couch down, I'm going, that is somebody's couch that you have been paid to go to this person's house, load this couch into the truck, and move it to wherever. But they sit the couch down. Bill's having to open up the door, the roll-up door. Joe just plops down on the couch. And then Bill plops down on the couch. It's summertime. You can tell it looks summertime. They're sweaty. They're kind of sweaty and just, but yeah, you just plop your ass down on my couch. Like the couch ain't wrapped up. The couch ain't in plastic. It's just the couch. The couch they just took out of this person's house. They're loading it in the truck. They just plop down on that couch. And so now you got sweaty Bill and sweaty Joe all up on your couch and you don't even know it yet. That just kind of jumped out at me. Joe's sitting there trying to, kind of talking to him, asking him like, what's he like to do? What's like to do for fun? Bill kind of tells him like, well, I'm kind of a writer. And he asked Bill, they're talking about fishing and stuff. And Bill says he liked to fish. And he was like, ask me if you want to go fishing this weekend. So yeah, Bill was like, yeah, that'd be good. Then all of a sudden we're going to go lift the couch up, put it back in the truck, move on. I did notice, Bill, it didn't seem like you lifted with your legs, brother. It's bad for the back. You got to lift with the legs. He kind of bent over and just seemed like it was all back picking that thing up. But now we're back at Bill's house. This is like a nighttime. Bill's got like a little storage building out back. Bill is building a box. He's building him almost like a little, and as soon as I seen him, I'm thinking, this dude building him a casket. Like he planned on killing himself. He planned on dying. He's building like this wooden box. And he's sitting there nailing these nails in within. Sleepy as fuck, man. This dude, Bill, hits himself in the thumb with that hammer. And I've done a little bit of carpentry in my day. I've helped build some shit. I have done that whole hit my nail with the hammer type thing. It is not fun. But Bill smacks the shit out of it and then goes up in the house, you know, to the sink, running water on it. And when he hits it, he has the perfect reaction. The same way I would have reacted. Where it's just like, fuck. You know, he sells it. He made my thumb hurt watching it. He goes into the kitchen trying to run some water on it. Then he's got to pull the nail off. He's pulling it. And when he pulls it off, that's, once again, there's certain things. I love gore. I love all the type of shit, but there's just certain things that just really make me just kind of cringe. And when it comes to the nails, fingernails, toenail, whatever, of them pulling those off, you know, I've fucked my nail up pretty good before, but I've never been to a point where I had to where I could pull it off. And so he peels this thing off. And while he's doing it, it shows something kind of growing out of the thumb. Didn't really know what that was at the moment. Well, when he pulls it off and he sees it, he just kind of falls in the floor. Like it almost like maybe it hurt too much, whatever, but he just kind of falls in the floor. I couldn't tell if he passed out. Maybe he did, because when he opened his eyes up, there is a naked lady knelt down next to him. On her knees, butt naked, got Bill's thumb, sucking on him. Sucking on Bill's, you know, should have been bloodied up thumb. At the same time, while she's sucking it, Bill's kind of like, you can tell he's like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, well, hell, maybe Bill's digging it. You know, maybe he's into it. Well, then old girl like bites it off, like bites the tip of the thumb or whatever off. Bill's screaming then, man. Like, okay, this ain't sexy no more. Just screaming. And when he looks down at it, this is where you see something growing out the end of the thumb. And like I said, you don't really figure that out yet. So Bill now in the shower. Bill decides he's going to go take a bath. Gets him he's in the shower at the time, but while he's in the shower, you know, he clogs up, puts a little plunger in to let the tub fill up. Then he just kind of lays down in the tub, laying down in the tub. Next thing you know, them same two dudes that got him in bed are now in there pushing him underwater, trying to stab him and shit. So he is, and while all this is going on, this is where, you know, it's not real because he's fucking alive the next day. But is he dreaming all this? Is he falling asleep and seeing it? Is he just having straight up hallucinations? You know, and that's where you can kind of, you know, fill in the blanks on your own. And after the tub scene, it shows him like not in the tub anymore. He is in the bathroom looking in the mirror. This is another part that grosses me out. Have you ever seen the show Dr. Pimple Popper? I feel sure you've heard of it. That shit grosses me out on a whole nother level. That is just, oh fuck, I can't stand that show. Bill standing there in the mirror looking at something. He has these massive looking, like pimply looking things. Like just, you can just tell they full of like pus. Don't y'all just hate that word, pus? And he's sitting there looking in the mirror, and he goes to pop it. And when he goes to pop it, I don't normally like to look away when I'm watching the movie, but I wanted to look away because I had a feeling some shit was gonna come out of it. Some pus. Ugh, I hate that word. It just sounds dirty. So he does it, pushes the little pimple thing, and just, you know, little pus. He makes a comment while all this is going on that the human body is not my final form. He then reaches back, like on the backside of his head, and almost like peels his face off. And when it shows, it looks like an alien head is standing there. Or like some type of insect. And he's like, he is a visitor here to destroy your world. Bill is out in some fucking left field somewhere. Like, it's just, maybe that's just for me. Like, maybe he just thinks of himself as less. Like, I don't know. But it was kind of a gross part. Puss. Now, we got Bill in a store. It's time for the big fishing trip. Him and Joe going on their fishing trip. Bill's inside the store. And I know back home we had like little gas stations that have like little cup of worms when you want to go fishing. So he's at the little thing where you grab the cup of worms and take fishing. And he's talking about how he used to be a worm. Like, he used to eat the dirt with his little worm head. He picks up one of the damn worms, puts it in his mouth, tries to chew it, then spits it out. Totally grosses him out. And I'm just like, dude, how fucking tired to where, I mean, he's out there, man. And then he goes up to the counter and he grabs him some sunglasses. And for some reason, when he put those sunglasses on, it almost made him seem different. It was like there was this cooler version of Bill, of this, don't take no shit Bill. Because up till now, like when he was talking to Joe, he had this kind of like wimpy kind of way about him, that was just, I don't know. He just sounded like he was just real soft-spoken, kind of scared type person. He puts these sunglasses on. Bill's got a little swag to him when he puts the sunglasses on. He sees a knife. The guy's got like little display counters in the store and got like this big Bowie knife down there. Bill's looking at it. He sees that knife and he likes it. The dude's like, hey, you want to see it? Bill's like, yeah. He pulls it out. Lets Bill hold it. Bill starts swinging this fucking knife around like he's never even heard of a knife before. Just swings it around. And I'm like, and he's got this, like, he is happy, like, in this moment. Like, he's got the sunglasses, he got this knife. It's like, he is a different person now. He ain't gonna take no shit from nobody. Got my cool guy glasses, I got my fucking Bowie knife. Because when the dude tries to sell it to him, he tells me what he wants $60 for it. And when he went up there and seen the glasses and the knife, he had like some bait type things for to go fishing with, some little rubber worms and stuff like that to go fishing. He kind of looked at him, the dude selling it looked at him like, oh, is that too? And Bill's like, are you think I'm a thief? And the guy's like, no. And then Bill's like, well, you fucking funny, asshole. And the glasses, man, the sunglasses, Bill became, ain't gonna take no shit Bill. He's riding down the road. They're going out to the fishing hole. Bill still got the glasses on. Bill got the knife in his lap. Like, he's feeling it right now. They go out there fishing. Bill catches him a little fish. They're all at the campsite. They're spending the night out there. They're camping, him and Joe. They're cooking up the fish. Joe wants Bill to tell him a story. And he was like, well, aren't you a writer? Why don't you tell me a story? And Bill's kind of like, well, I'm not that kind of writer. But then he starts telling Joe a story about some aliens that have been studying us, and talks about like one day we built rockets and we flew right up their assholes, and the people on the moon didn't like this. They retaliated with like natural disasters, like hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, natural disasters. The aliens are not happy. Bill, I think if I'm not mistaken, he comes across this lady, and he's following her. This lady is naked. They go out to the little river, the little creek, go into the water, and she's swimming out there. Bill jumps in the water, swims out there, and while he's out there, it gives you this camera view. I think I read it was like a fisheye view or something, but something's looking at Bill. And the way he's reacting, it is not the naked lady that led him out into the water. Like, he's seeing something a little different. because this starts coming at Bill. Bill starts flipping out and trying to hurry up and get back to the damn shore. And so I don't know what he's seen. Maybe he's seen one of them fucking aliens he's seen when he looked in the mirror. Joe wakes up, looks around. Bill's gone. Bill is not laying there. And then we get Bill in the car. And I'm like, did Bill just straight up leave Joe out in the fucking woods by himself? Hell yeah, Bill left Joe in the woods. Bill's in Joe's car, heading back home, covered in mud, in the car, butt naked. Ain't got no clothes on. Because he's going back into town, kind of like where he stayed. He's sitting there, and this dude comes up to the window, and he knows him. And he's trying to talk to Bill. And Bill trying just to be like, hey, let me, and the Bill, like I said, covered in mud, butt naked. And Bill now goes back home. Bill's getting ready to prepare for something. He goes out there, he's got him a bow and arrow. He had him this old stuffed fox or whatever it was, took it out there, and he's now shooting at it. Bill's pretty good with the fucking bow and arrow, people. So then we get Bill. He's at a job interview. And this is one of them times where I don't know, like, was this something he's writing about? Is this something that he's dreaming about? Or just whatever? But he's sitting down with, I think his name was Tom, and he's interviewing for a job. And he's basically telling Tom that, hey, I can be that guy. You know, I think it's for like a TV company. Almost like a QVC TV show. You know, that QVC where you used to be able to buy shit, late night TV. They'd be selling some random shit. He's trying to get that job. I'm thinking, like, while he's doing it, I'm like, is this all in his head? Because it kind of does it like 2 or 3 times of this interview, and he goes at it 3 different types of ways, you know, and he's asking Bill, like, do you have a reel? I don't know what all, you know, I'm not a movie person. I don't know what that means when you say, do you have a reel? Then we get a third version of this interview where Bill's kind of like a little more laid back, and he's like, hey, do you like dogs? And him and this interview guy's going on, and he was like saying, like, we need somebody with your type of energy and shit. And Bill's like, well, I love TV. I want to work for your station because I fucking love TV. He seems more confident. So it's like there's these different ways that he did the interview. And for me, honestly, at this point, there's a part of me that was thinking, is all of this something he's writing about? Is this something that maybe he's been sitting at this typewriter and this is a story he's trying to type out of him going for a job? But, or was it really a job interview? Maybe he went to this interview. Maybe it was a job he had before and he no longer has. Like I said, you get to watch it and fill in the blanks. I fucking love these kind of movies. So, but like I said, he's doing this interview because the guy asked Bill at one point, asked him if he had a car, and Bill was like, yeah. And he's like, is it a dependable car? And on the first interview, while he's doing this, he's like, oh yeah, very, very dependable, kind of just soft-spoken type. But then by this third interview run, he's like, hey, do you got a car? Bill's like, car runs like a motherfucker, Tom. Like, very confident, arrogant type of way. And after this, he makes it just, he's talking about a part where it's like, you put on a mask of a simple man and no one ever knows the difference. People are more concerned with how you see them than they're more concerned about how you see them more than they are how they see you. And so when I seen that and heard that, I was like, well, maybe it was like Bill showing that no matter how he was toward this dude, he was the confident Bill, he was the, you know, soft-spoken Bill, kind of nervous Bill, and the dude didn't really care. He was just like, hey, we need somebody here like you. Do you got a car? Blah, blah, blah. So then we get Bill. Still, I don't think this dude has fucking slept, or he's doing his best to stay awake. And because he's now in his little box, He's laying in this damn box, this little casket looking thing he made. And he's talking like he's talking to other people, because he makes it along the lines of, and this is straight from the movie. Well, guess what, you piece of shit, you faggots, you sluts, I see through you. I will smash your fucking faces in. And he thinks something is after him. He has got it out. Like, everybody's out to get me. He's trying to protect himself. And he is just, the whole world's against him, it seems like. Then we get him in like an office, and he's talking with an assistant. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, shit, maybe he really did get this job at the TV place, because he's sitting there with like this assistant. She's trying to talk to him. And then he's just kind of not paying no attention, because he sees this lady walk by, like she's leaving the building. And Bill just kind of like dumps the folders and shit in her lap. He's just like, here, hold this. And he follows the lady outside. We go outside. We got Jesse. Jesse's sitting down against the wall. Bill walks out there. Jesse trying to have a smoke. Bill's like, trying to talk to her. Bill must have had a little eye for her. She kind of jumped out when she walked by. Bill was like, hey, what we got here? He goes out there trying to be a little smooth, They sitting there talking. He tells her that he asked her out for dinner. Bill wanted to go on a little date with Jesse. So then we jump back. Bill is now back at his little desk drinking coffee. And there are piles of paper all around him, like tons of just back off to the side, like tons of paper, like it's been wadded up. And this is where I'm watching. I'm going, well, it makes me wonder again, like, is this all just a story he's writing? Like, what is he trying to put on paper that he cannot, because it's just piles of random shit of paper next to him. And I'm trying to figure out, like, is he writing this story? Maybe this story is going to be called Sleep is the Enemy, and all this is tied together. But now he goes to his junk box, pulls out an old camcorder. He sits down at his desk with his camcorder, and he's like reading through the instruction books on this camcorder. Starts videotaping, and he's looking around. You see like stuff on his wall and stuff like that. And we got, I think it was Jesse and Bill on this date. They're sitting there, and she makes a comment to him like, hey, did Tom tell you that this job is temporary? Basically, it's going to be finished in a month. I don't really know. But while they're sitting there, Jesse, she's feeling kind of flirty. Jesse's sitting there wanting to play a little footsie with Bill. Takes her shoe off, starts rubbing up Bill's leg, like touches his hand, like, Jesse wants the Bill. Jesse wants the BOJ. So doing a little flirty with him. And while this is going on, it's showing him though back at his desk with the camcorder. And he's watching something on the tape that's in the recorder. And then we get a close-up of the vagina. He kind of drops it on the floor when he sees it. It kind of flips him out, drops it on the floor. And next thing you know, we got the camera moving across the floor. And then we back with Bill on his date. Then they go back to her apartment. And when they go up in her apartment, man, she's got I'm kind of OCD, cluttery ass apartment. Walks up in there. As soon as you walk in the door, mattress on the floor, little box fan, random shit on the floor, a little TV on the floor. And then she's like, I'm going to go in there and make a drink. Bill just makes himself right the fuck at home. He just plops down on the little mattresses laying in the floor, takes his shoes off. She brings him a drink. They're just sitting there. Then we're back at the fucking camera. And on the camera, you see the vagina. Now, then we got Bill fingering the vagina on the camera lens. And I'm just taking this as, did Was Bill a freak? Did he record his sexual thing with this old girl? I don't know. If he did, kudos. But while he's fingering this camera lens, you start hearing this woman moan. And we're back in bed now with Bill and the lady, and she's like rubbing this black tarry looking shit all over her body, rubbing it all over. Then they're fucking. Like Bill's on top of there just fucking. And he looks at her and is like, "Do you want me to hit you? Do you want me to hit you?" And it's like it's almost like he's getting more violent as this thing goes on. They're laying there in bed. She tells him, she's like, "Do you want a cigarette?" And, I don't know if anybody else out there, but a cigarette goes great after sex. If you've never tried it, then, look into it. But then she looks at Bill's like, that's right, you don't smoke. And he's like, "Oh, it's bad for you." Now she's in the shower. Bill, once again, makes himself right at fucking home. Goes up in there, grabs him a bowl, grabs him some fucking cereal, comes back out there, plops back down, sitting on the bed watching TV. He's watching this show, and apparently this is the show that they work at. This like QVC type show where they sell shit. So they're selling some type of perfume. Bill calls in to the show in this lady type voice and makes comments like, I touch my pussy every time I look at you or some shit like that. And he just kind of hangs up on her and laughs. While he's doing this, the girl walks out and she's like, he makes a comment to him like, "Oh, you better not ever do that while I'm on the show," and just kind of joking around. Well, Bill wakes up looking up. He's like in bed and he wakes up and he's looking up and there's almost like this hole in the wall. And he walks over to it and there's something that's looking out at them. So he sees this hole and he walks up to it. Bill gets up in all his glory, butt naked Bill, strolling up there to the little hole in the wall looking thing, close up shot of Bill's cock. You see like a little girl in the bathtub and you got this dog growling. And he wakes up flipping out, yelling at her, like, "Why did you let me go to sleep? I told you to never let me sleep." He gets up and just leaves. Once again, Bill had let this old dude out in the damn old Joe out there in the woods on the fishing trip. Now when Bill leaves, Bill's in the car driving. You can tell it's late at night. I don't know how the hell he kept his eyes open this fucking long, but he's going down the road and he comes to he's in this cornfield and he's pulled over. His car's pulled over, and I don't know. I think if he felt like somebody was following him or something, but he's out on this road where this cornfield is. He gets out and he's hiding in the cornfield. Well, then we got Joe out there looking for him. Joe recognizes the car. Joe's trying to figure out, "Hey, dude, why the fuck did you leave me on our fishing trip?" So while Joe's kind of looking at the car, Bill comes out the fucking cornfield with his damn Bowie knife and basically starts stabbing him. Grabs Joe. He's got his head in the door, and Bill just slamming the fucking door against his head and just, I'm talking, smashes it. Dude's head is fucked up. Bill grabs him up. Bill got some strength to him. Bill may look kind of small in this movie, but Bill got some strength. He damn picks old Big Joe up and throws him in the trunk of the car. Now we got Bill back home digging a hole. And I'm thinking, okay, Bill is now going to bury Joe in his backyard. Because he's pulling this box and you can tell it's heavy, but the box is about to fall apart. It looks like, wasn't nailed too good. He's pulling it over to the side. The box breaks. Well, then Bill falls into this hole. And he's in the hole. But then it's like, then it shows the box in the hole like it was set up to be. Like before, like the box broke and he fell in the hole. Well, now it shows him in the box, but the box is like in the ground. Like it is in there nice and neat, you know, packed in by the dirt, and he's got the lid on it. He gets out of this, he opens it up, gets out, runs up in the house with his knife, and he grabs him a jug of bleach out of his cabinets. He runs to the bathroom. He thinks something's after him. Something is after him because he's hearing some type of growling at the fucking door. When he's in the bathroom, he literally takes the jug of bleach and just pours it all over him, just trying to get clean. I don't fucking know, but he packs up his car and leaves. He's got to get out of there. All the shit going down in the house, he's got to get out there. He's got to get away. He drives out there and out into the woods, comes across this old house. He's going into this old house and he's like going up the stairs. And while he's going up the stairs, he's like talking to somebody because he's like, "You fucking bitch." And I don't know who he's talking to, you know. He goes into this room. There's this old chair. There's some papers on the floor. He comes across this old, like a book, like somebody was trying to write a book, and it was called The Dog Bites. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's like a movie script, a book, or whatever, but he takes it and he starts seeing things and he's hearing things, and he just runs out. Now he's out in the woods and he has set him up a little campsite. He is getting off the rails even more now, because now he's out in these woods. He's setting up a little tent and shit like that. And he's sitting there, and this dude is hearing things because he's sitting there over a branch that's over like this little water hole looking thing. And the voice is telling him, there's like, he's hearing voices saying like, "Eat the blood." And we get this lady touching his face. And while she's touching his face, he's laying there and he's like, "I can almost smell you." And he's laying on this little dirty ass looking dock next to this creek all by himself. He wakes up. There's like this coyote, because he had got himself a squirrel. He had took his bow and arrow, killed himself a squirrel, and that was going to be the dinner. Well, this coyote has showed up and was fucking with his shit. Bill tries to shoot at it. Then Bill starts talking. He starts talking about when he was 7, he fell in love with a girl that was in the house that it took him years to get over. Well, then I went back to that girl that was showing in the bathroom earlier when he looked through the little peephole looking thing while he was at Jesse's house with a dog barking. And I'm like, okay, well, is this was that his childhood that he was looking at this, you know, when he was 7 and there was this little girl he fell in love with? Maybe, you know, that was in the house. And then it made me wonder, like, dude, did you fall in love with your fucking sister? I don't know. But basically saying it took me years to get over her. Yeah. Fill in the blanks how you want to. That one I took that was he had a little crush. You know, was you that fucked up in the head that, you know, you had a thing for the sister? Or was it a baby? Well, this wasn't even a babysitter because she was almost the same age. She was a very young looking girl. So Bill wakes up, he's getting attacked by the damn Coyote. And the Coyote kind of snapping at him and shit. Well, then we back at the house, Jesse's house. Jesse comes home. She goes, you know, comes into her little bedroom / living room / everything all in this one room, and goes to go into the bathroom, opens the door, and Bill's in there. She didn't know Bill was there, fucking screams. Bill screams, she screams, Bill drops to the floor. When he drops to the floor, just somehow hand goes straight into the fucking toilet. She's like, "What happened?" Well, then he starts yelling like, "The dog bit me. A big dog bit me," which was like the title from that paper that he had found earlier. And this is just where I'm sitting there, I'm trying to figure out, and I don't know. God, you're sitting there trying to figure out, like, did the dog, I mean, he had a wound on his hand, like I'm assuming the dog bit him, but it was just funny that he just kept yelling the exact same thing he wrote down on that was on this paper. Well, then what kind of weird is, while he's in there bandaging up his hand, Jesse is in the kitchen on the phone, basically saying he is in shock. And I'm wondering who she's talking to. It was almost like him and Jesse have known each other for a while, because she makes a comment about, I haven't seen you like this in a long time. And so I'm wondering, how long were him and Jesse together? Were him and her together, prior? I don't know. But he comes in there and basically like mad because she's on the phone calling somebody. Don't know who she called. Maybe she was calling Tom. Maybe because they all worked at a TV place together. I don't know. But he basically comes in saying, I don't trust you. He grabs the phone, throws it down. He grabs up the trash can, starts taking food out of the fridge. Well, he dumps all the trash out of the trash can, grabs some food out of the fridge, and looking for the liquor. He's like, hey, where's the liquor? And basically, like, she's just, you can tell she kind of like cares about him. But he tells her, like, you don't know me at all, you delusional bitch. And he's just like screaming at her. And he leaves, and then we're going to go back out into the woods. And this whole time I'm trying to figure out, is this lady somebody from his past? Is she even fucking, is she real? Is it something he's writing about? Like, and this dude is going off the deep end. Like, Bill is losing it. Now he's back out here in the woods. Now he's Arnold Schwarzenegger in fucking Predator, covered in mud, like head to toe. Got his bow and arrow. He's on the hunt. Finally kills the coyote and skint the old damn thing. Basically makes it come like the dog is dead. And then he talks about how in his young days, he had a dog. His dad brought home an angry dog. And on the first day, that little dog tried to like snap at him. And the dad was trying to tell him that he wasn't a violent dog, but the dog, once again, Bill said he tried to mess with the dog. The dog tried to get him again, and he realized that the dog is just a violent dog. Well, apparently the dad left, took the dog with him. That was the deal breaker. Like, hey, if you don't like my dog, we're not staying. Dad loved that dog more than he did the family. And basically, and Bill says that, mom never forgave him for that. Like, maybe Bill was the reason that dad left him, and once again, all the guilt and everything, maybe it just has, who knows? You don't ever really know what went on in this dude's childhood. Like, yeah, God, it seems like dad left him early. Him and mom may struggle. Mom may always held it against him. Just the dude just has lived a shitty life. It's up to this point, it seems like. Bill's trying to type. He got out in the woods. He got him a long chair. He got his typewriter sitting out in his fucking boxers. He's trying to type. Little Cody's just howling. Bill just keeps telling him to shut up. Like, he is hearing all these things, and he's sitting in the chair, and he's got the Cody looking thing on his head. Like, he skinned the Cody, he's like on his head, and he's got this knife in his leg, and he's just like digging into this fucking leg with this knife. And he keeps saying, like, you go away and I'm still here. I wish I could break through this barrier. This dude got a whole lot of baggage that he has never, ever seemed to have a chance to unpack. He's sitting there with a bottle of liquor, finishes it up. Then he takes it and pisses in the damn bottle. Like, just, dude is out there. Then he wakes up, like he passed out, but he wakes up in town, almost in like downtown. And he's once again in his boxer shorts. He's got the little Coyote skin hanging on his back. Then we go back to we're back in the house again. This one goes back and forth a lot. From the house to him in the woods. You know, maybe this was going back to the house is what led up to him finally fucking snapping and going out into the woods. You just have to figure it out. He doesn't want to do bad things because it shows him almost changing into like this alien insect looking thing. And he's basically saying, please don't make me do this. I don't want to do it. So there's a part in here that Bill going to have to pull the fucking Bowie knife out of his dick. Yeah, you got to see it. You just got to see it. But it was like this moment, he flipped the switch. Like he is gone. That he is going to be the destroyer, that he is going to have to, he's lost it, man. And he suits up. We got Bill got his like little combat boots on, everything. He's got his fucking bow and arrow. He's got his hammer. He's got his Bowie knife. He's sitting there. He paints his face with some damn like black paint, and like he's going to go after somebody. But then we get our QVC show back on. We're back on the TV set. Bill's at Jesse's house. Bill goes back to Jesse's house looking for her. She's not there. But on the TV is the episode, well, the show that's going on, and Jesse is on that show. Her and this magician looking dude trying to sell my first magic trick type shit. Bill calls up the show again. Bill calls her up, like, hey, stupid bitch, you're going to die. You are all fucking dead. And we get Jesse's in like this little room, like till she's kind of freaked out. Like this dude just literally called on the air saying he's gonna fucking kill her. Tom comes in there though. Tom's like, and she looked at Tom and she's like, he's going to kill me. And Tom don't give a fuck. He's just like, all right, Jesse, let's go. This is your job. So get your ass back out there and sell some fucking, some shit, damn it. And like, why does Bill hate this lady so much? Like, why is he going to kill her? Did Bill think she was fooling around with Tom? Did Bill think she was, did he see her on this little episode selling some first magic trick, this magician looking dude? Did he think they had something going on? Because he goes after him. And Bill bumps into the magic man out in the parking lot. And this dude's still mic'd up and everything. And Bill goes in on him, starts killing him. They're hearing this shit up in the little tower, the little control room. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck did magic man ever do to you? But Bill fucked him up, killed him. Then he shows that they're in like the little control room. Knock on the door. Dude goes to the door, opens it up. Bill standing there with the arrow. A little bow and arrow. There's like 4 dudes up in there, I think. 3 or 4. Bill rolls up in there, gonna kill them all. He's gonna head stomp the shit out of one of them. He's gonna bow and arrow one of them. He's gonna hammer time one of them's head. And all this is going on. Jesse is still out there on the damn show selling some shit. Like, nobody in the control room and all this shit popped off. Was like, oh, fuck. Jesse's out there just talking away, trying to damn do her thing. Then she starts hearing somebody yelling, somebody's trying to get in. She looks around, here comes Bill. Bill comes up behind her, lays her head down on the little table where she's trying to sell some stuff at, puts the big ass knife under her throat. Basically leans over and calls her like, you stupid fucking bitch. Like, tells her to say good night. Excuse me 1 second. A little itch in my throat. Tells her to say good night. That was Gentleman Jack Break. Thank you. Bill kills her. You see the blood on the counter. Bill's back out there in the woods, but now he has the body with him. Like he had brought Jesse's body back out to those woods, to that hole that was telling him to like eat the blood or some shit. He kind of hangs her up. And I'm thinking, okay, is he trying to, does he got to feed this hole? You know? He is literally drinking himself to death because he's just chugging. And then next thing you know, he's up and he's like walking around and he's like puking like blood, like puking up. And he goes and cuts Jess down. Well, then he's out in the woods. He starts hearing a voice telling him, like, Bill, don't fall asleep. Something shoots him. Bow and arrow shoots him in the back. And he falls. And he's on the ground yelling, help me, help me. And I'm like, who the fuck shot you with the bow and arrow? I don't know. He's on the ground. It's almost like he's paralyzed. And he's just sitting there, laying there, like saying like how he's sorry. And we get Bill in the ground. You see Bill's face. There's like an ant crawling all over. It goes into his mouth, and he like eats this ant. And I thought because when he got shot in the back, he was laying on the edge of that little water hole. And I thought maybe was he like sinking into this water hole, because it was almost like quicksand, but it was almost like somebody buried him in the ground up to his neck. And he's laying there, and he's like, well, he's in this hole, and he's like yelling that he's blind, and he's calling for Jesse. And then it's like, he's just like, I'm not blind anymore. He sees up, looking up in the clouds, sees some light or some shit. Well, then as it fades off, it just shows a skeleton there. Like he just got left there, like died there. It's just like a skeleton and sticking up out of the ground, the skull anyway. And that's how it wraps up. And like I told you earlier, it's one of them you can watch it and try to fill in the blanks, put your thought to it, or put the pieces where you think they go. But for me, one of the things I took out of it was it just gave you a look of like this insomnia, just to the point of where this dude was so scared to fall asleep. Like it started fucking with him so much that one little dream led to so much more. Like he maybe had a bad dream one night. Well, that dream may have been just so fucking real and scared the shit out of him, to where the next night he's just like, man, I don't want to dream like that again. And then he tried to stay awake. The dreams keep getting worse. He's just going deeper and deeper into this fucking hole. And I feel bad for him. I know he fucked some people up, but you feel bad for him because it's just like the dude has no way out. Is what it feels like. Like he has nobody to turn to, nobody to talk to. He's just going deeper and deeper. And it was good. It was just dirty. It made you feel, I felt anyway, just kind of dirty. And it was kind of a lot of grossness to it with him out in the woods, it just seemed like he just let everything go. And it was, is it possible to just kind of something to be sexy and nasty at the same time? That's what it kind of felt like. Like it was so good, but so bad as far as like the look and how everything was. It was just, oh man, I enjoy these types of movies because I feel like you could go back and watch this again and think about it from a different point of view and have a whole different meaning of how it all turned out. Like was this all just a dream? Was this all just was he writing a book? Was it all just all in his mind? Did he really kill these people? Did he really do all this stuff? And you could go back and watch it and watch it from this point of view and then watch it from a different point of view and be a whole different meaning behind it or what's going on. So that was it. It's a good one. And Coyote 2014, Trevor, you fucking knocked it out of the park. Like I said earlier, this is a very good fuck for me. I will be watching it again. It just for, like I said, just to be able to watch it from a different point of view. I would like to watch it with somebody else and have them watch it and be like, what do you think's going on and all this? And so it's such a good movie. You need to watch it and just get your own thinking of what you think's going on or what is happening. But Bill does such a fucking good job of just, he was extreme all the way through. Just I fucking liked him. As mean as he fucking when he started trying to kill off some folk, but you still felt bad for him. But it was good. Definitely you need to go check this one out. I want you to let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you'd fuck it, marry, or kill it. Let me know maybe how you interpret this movie, because I think 10 different people could watch it and 10 different people had 10 different opinions on it, and that's why it's fucking great. I like that about a movie. But that's going to do it for this episode. Once again, this is a fuck. It's dirty, it's sexy, it's nasty, it's fucking good. So go check it out. But we got one more episode to go for the Happy Birthday Bill month. We're going to be doing next week, Circus of the Dead. I have talked about this movie before, just randomly, and so I'm looking forward to rewatching that one again and getting on here talking about it. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Coyote 2014. Go check it out. Stop by in the comments, social media. Let me know what you think about the movie. Yeah, stay tuned till next week. And Circus of the Dead. But enjoy your Thanksgiving and enjoy your time with friends, family, whatever you may be doing. Don't get so caught up in the fucking turkey and the fucking shopping that you forget what it's about. Be thankful. I always tell people all the time, there's always somebody out there that's got it worse than you. So be thankful. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your weekends. And until next time, this is that part of the show where I need you all to grab your drinks. I need you all to put your chairs away, grab your shit, and get the fuck out of here.